Fucking brisk out today, but I don't know. It's early morning and I just want to get my thoughts off my chest. I do this every once in a while where I'll just walk with you guys and I'll talk and I'll give you my honest thoughts about what life is like these days and I guess what you do, after you've done something relatively substantial at a young age, what's next to do. What I will say about making a lot of money online at a young age is it teaches you lessons about life that a lot of people won't come to until much, much later in life that have lower salary. And the reason I say that is because the average person, let's say they make $100,000 a year, $80,000 a year, $60,000 a year, whatever that number is, for them to genuinely have enough cash flow and saved money to live the kind of life that they actually want to live, right, and bank a decent amount of money, it takes a really, really long time. Right? And once they have enough money and once they're somewhat comfortable and they have that money saved, which might take them until like 55, damn near even 60 years old if you're just working a traditional job and being a good boy pretty much, doing everything right, saving all your money, you're not going to get to a point where you have enough saved money to have a decent life for a very, very, very long time. You can live in a relatively safe neighborhood. You can cover your expenses, but you're broke, right? I'm of the mindset that you're either poor or you're rich. There is no middle class, especially in America. Not with the way inflation is moving, not with the way prices are continuously going up. You're either broke, and when I say broke, you could be covering all your living expenses and having an extra $100 a month. You're broke, right? Or you're rich, or you're covering all your expenses and you have plenty of extra money every single month. So to me, that's the only difference. But what I'll say is you learn at a young age that money is a necessity of life. So anyone that tells you money doesn't matter is full of shit. But what you also learn is that once you have enough money to drive the cars you want, to eat at the restaurants you want, to do the extracurricular activities that you want, everything else is for the sake of vanity, right? And it's also for the sake of the love of the game. Being in business after making $1 million a year, it's for the love of the game. It really is. So anyone that says that it's not, I don't know what's necessarily driving them or what their living expenses are. But once you live, like I said, in a good neighborhood, you drive a good car, you eat at the restaurants you want, you could afford the produce at the grocery store that you want and that you need. Everything else is extra, Do you want to take 5 vacations instead of 4? Do you want to drive an even nicer car than the one that you drive now? And all that stuff is vacant. It doesn't really do anything for you. Truly, it doesn't. So beyond making $1 million a year, everything else is for the sake of vanity or for the sake of the love of the game. And this is why, in my situation, I'm just finding love for the process of building, right? Starting with something that's worth absolutely nothing, that isn't worth shit, and building it to be worth something, and empowering other people to live a better life. That's the only thing that's going to wake you up in the morning excited about a workday once you've already crossed that threshold of making the amount of money that you want to make. Or else what's going to wake you up, bro? What's going to wake you up? You know what it's like to buy the nice car. You know what it's like to buy the nice apartment. You know what it's like to buy the nice house. You know what it's like to eat at the nice restaurants. Are you motivated by the same things that wake you up today? Probably not. You always need to be ambitious and motivated and moving towards something that you don't necessarily have or something that you haven't necessarily done, If you look at people that are physically fit and they're ripped and they're in great shape, they're constantly looking for ways to improve the sculpture. How can I improve where I'm currently at? How can I make that thing better, right? So, like I said, it becomes a game of what is your level of love for the game? And what is also your level of love for empowering other people to go out and live a better life? It's one thing for you to make $1 million personally through a successful small online business. But if you could help someone else make $1 million inside of your business, you're going to make 10 million. And at that point, it's not even about you making the 10 million. You want to help that person live a better life and make the kind of money that they actually want to live. So this is what wakes me up now. I have a team, right? I have mouths to feed. I have people that rely on the success of our business so that they can literally eat, so that they can get by in a day. I have people that wake up every day that are not in the position that they want to be in financially, and they need more money, not for the sake of vanity, but for the sake of, I have a car payment coming up. Without this cash flow, without this commission check, or without this salary, I'm not going to be able to cover that nut. And seeing the hunger and the tenacity and the ambition in all the young guys that work for my companies is what wakes me up in the morning. You know, being able to help people move into a better position, that's what wakes me up in the morning now. Helping our clients, you know, if you don't know who I am, my name is Luke, and I run a decent sized marketing agency. We do millions and millions of dollars a year in sales. Helping customers get more leads and literally transform processes in their business that make them more money. To me, that's empowering. That's fulfilling. You know, I'm doing something that is genuinely going to have a positive impact on that person's life, business, and so on and so forth. So I'll say this, right? If you want to make more money because you want to be happier, everything beyond, and I forgot who said this, but it's completely the truth. Everything that I've experienced beyond being able to go to the restaurants that you want and having plenty of money to cover that fee is all vanity and it's all bullshit, right? So at that point, it's just like, where do I put my money to get a high return year over year? So if there comes a point that I don't want to work, I don't have to. You know, that's a different game. That's not a game where you need the money. That's a game of what can get me 15% annually? What can get me 12% annually? What I'll say is this. If you do start coming into money at a young age, stick to your roots. I see a lot of kids and they wear like fucking hype beast clothes. Like, bro, this shirt is from a fucking supermarket. It's $20, bro. This hat is fucking $20. It's not about trying to serve other masters and serve other people. If I don't personally want something, or if that thing is not cool to me, I'm not buying it because society tells me, oh, you should have that thing, or you should want that thing. Fuck no. I was into cars, you know? I'll happily wear a $20 sweatshirt into a fucking $200,000 car. That's just who I am, you know? I buy the things that I genuinely find cool, that I get utility out of. I'm not going to serve someone else's master. Oh, this is what you should find cool. This is what should be cool to you. Bro, if you're worth fucking $100 million, but you think Teslas are cool, and your dream car is only $45,000, so what, bro? So what? You're cool to other people for 1 second of their day. Literally, you'll post your dream car that you bought on Instagram. Someone will see it for a minute, be like, oh, that's cool. Or maybe they just get jealous, and then they move on. You know why? Because they have their own problems. They have their own fucking heartache. They have their own issues. Everyone has their own shit that they're dealing with. They're not thinking about you that deeply. And that's what I also really want you to understand, you know? If you're on your journey right now, okay, and you're like, fuck, I want to make a bunch of money. I want to do it. I want to prove everyone wrong. Bro, you're not proving anyone wrong. You're proving yourself right. Show yourself that you are the man that can make this shit happen. Show yourself. You don't have to show anybody else. There's no one to prove, man. There's no one to prove. You will realize very quickly that nobody cares. Nobody cares. Everyone's self-centered. They're worried about their own life. Almost everybody, right? You can count on one hand the amount of people that genuinely care about you. Maybe mom, dad, maybe a sibling, and that's about it, you know? So don't worry too much about, oh, I'm going to prove this guy wrong. This teacher didn't believe in me. What are you going to gain? You think that if you do get your dream car and you pull back up to your high school, which I've done, and you're like, shit, I made it happen. You think people are even fucking thinking about you? They don't care. Everyone moves on with their life personally. Everyone has something going on. They have their own issues. They have their own struggles. They have their own problems. They are not worried about you. So worry about yourself so that you can actually help other people. And I'm a testament to that. If I never worried about myself, and if I never worried about making more money or helping myself and improving my own quality of life, how would I have ever hired people? How would I have ever helped anybody? Couldn't. Yeah, I haven't helped myself. I can't help you, right? So the secret to self-mastery and the secret to making a lot of money online, especially at a young age, is learning how to fucking help yourself. Fix your habits, bro. You know? All my employees, all my salespeople get into work at about 9 a.m. It's 8:33 a.m. right now. I've already trained. I've already hit the audiobook. I'm already filming a YouTube video. It's the habits, bro. The habits build the man. The habits build the dream life. That is exactly what you need to stick to. So I don't know your specific scenario watching this video, But these are just my thoughts. This is what life has been like after doing pretty well for myself online at the age of 21 years old. And now it's a matter of playing offense, helping my team make more money, and following the same habits and the same concepts that got me the millions in the first place. Not going into conservation mode, not thinking, oh, now I got to save. I got to conserve. I got that 1 million liquid. I got that couple million liquid. I got to conserve it because now I could lose it. No, man, I didn't make millions of dollars thinking that way. I was taking chances. I was taking bets. You know, I see a lot of people, they go into conservation mode. They make a little bit of money and they clam up. They're like, ooh, I got that little bit of money. Now I got to protect it. Yeah, you have to protect it, but to a point, you got to go out and you got to play offense. That's what got you the money. So never forget that. And again, I'm speaking to multiple people here, but if you're on your journey and if you're wondering what life is going to be like, or will you be happier, or, you know, whatever the case may be, the same problems you have right now, you're going to have when you make more money. So the things that are truly deeply bothering you inside of your life are not going to go away by you replacing them with more money. So as you're on the journey, don't forget there's other areas that you need to work on too. Bro, if you're obese and you make 3 mil, you're still obese. You still cannot bypass or mitigate the work of going to the gym or taking that fucking Ozempic pill. Like, that's the truth. So work on everything. Be a well-rounded person. I don't just want to be in shape. I don't just want to be rich. I don't just want to have a good relationship with God. I don't just want to have a good relationship with my friends and family. I truly want it all. And I'm truly coming for it all consistently, because I know a good life is waking up every single day, regardless of how I feel, with enough tenacity. And even if I don't have the tenacity on that day, but with enough grit to where I'm going to show up, I'm going to do what I need to do for myself and for the people around me. And I'm going to make sure that we all live as good a life as we know how. And that's what I've dedicated my life to. And to me, that is a fulfilling life. And yeah, that's where I'm at. So if you guys got value out of this video, I hope you did. You don't need to subscribe. You don't need to like the video. This is really just for you to keep in your back pocket when you're struggling on the journey. Not sure if it's going to even be worth it for you to continue struggling. Not sure what your direction is in this life, because things can get confusing. I promise you, working harder, building more, doing things that are actually going to impact other people is never something that you're going to regret. It's not detrimental. It's not harmful. You're never going to regret it. So that being said, like I said, hope you guys love this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.